Let's dive right into this. We've got a really fascinating source today.
Mhm.
It's a review by Mary Munoz of the film That They May Face the Rising Sun.
Right, the Pat Collins adaptation
Yeah,
of the John McGahern novel.
exactly. And our mission, really, in this deep dive is to unpack what this review tells us, about the film's take on rural Irish life, community.
And that power you find in just a quiet observation.
Yeah.
And the review, like right away, it hits you with this intriguing idea. It calls it a film where, and this is a quote, nothing really happens, yet it somehow manages to strike at the core of you.
Which is quite something, isn't it? How does a film even do that?
Well, that's the puzzle, right?
Right.
And this review helps us start putting the pieces together.
Absolutely. So maybe let's start where the review does.
Yeah.
Setting the scene, it introduces the main characters, Joe and Kate.
That's right. And their big move, trading the hustle and bustle of London
Right?
for a small farmhouse way out in rural Ireland. So a massive change.
And the review makes it clear it's not just like a random move, especially for Joe.
No, it's a return home for him, a deliberate choice to, reconnect with his roots, with the land itself.
It is. And what's interesting is how the review contrasts their way of doing it. They haven't come back, to laugh at the locals or impose their own way of doing things, as Munoz puts it.
Their goal is simpler, just to live there, authentically, be part of it.
And there's that line from Joe in the review that really captures it. He's thinking about why they moved and asks, isn't that the beauty of it? Just living the day-to-day? Isn't that why we left London?
That quote really feels like the heart of it, their motivation and maybe the film's whole focus.
Definitely. And speaking of what shapes their life there, the review is, well, pretty clear that the landscape isn't just a backdrop.
Oh, absolutely not.
Mm,
It calls the verdant landscape the actual star of the show.
that's a big statement. How does the review say the film pulls that off?
It gets really descriptive about the visuals. The colors, lush greens, earthy browns, crisp blues, weedy beiges. It even says the imagery is so strong, you would swear you could smell it.
Wow, that's powerful. Sounds like the camera work must be key.
It is. The review talks about Pat Collins using a loving, gazing camera. Lots of moments of stillness, silence.
Just the natural sounds.
Exactly, just the countryside soundscape. And it points out how different this feels. Timeless, really. Not your typical 1980s look with crimped hair, blue eyeshadow, and shoulder pads.
Right, right. So this focus on the landscape, this loving gazing, it connects straight back to that unhurried pace the review keeps mentioning.
It does. It feels like the film's inviting you, the viewer, to just slow down, observe, breathe it in.
And that slower pace, it seems crucial for exploring the community aspect, too.
Yeah, because the review suggests that sense of community is like deeply interwoven with the landscape itself.
How does it show that? What examples does the review give?
Well, it talks about the film celebrating this sharing of skills, a passing of knowledge. You see it in the seasonal work.
Like what sort of work?
Things like hay gathering and honey making.
Yeah.
Real hands-on stuff.
Ah, okay. And does the review say the film really focuses on those details?
It does. It mentions loving close-ups
Oh.
of hands doing things, hands learning how to work wood, hay being wrestled into place. It's showing you how people connect through that shared practical effort.
Makes sense. And it's not just the work, is it? The review mentions small acts of kindness, building that community feeling, too.
Like Joe helping Bill, an older neighbor, get onto a bus. Little things, but they add up. They paint a picture.
Yeah, they do. And a big part of that picture, according to the review, is this group of elderly neighbors.
Right, the ones who often visit Joe and Kate.
Just popping in, yeah. Usually over a cuppa or a meal, bringing the local news, the gossip.
Exactly. And their view of London is interesting, too. The review says they see it as an entirely foreign place.
Different pace, different rules.
Yeah, just a whole different way of being compared to their life.
No, the review brings up something quite important here, doesn't it? A layer of subtle social commentary.
It does. Amidst all this sense of community, it also points out a notion of poverty that is never spoken about but is evident in the lives of these men.
It's not overstated, but it's there. How does the review back that up?
With specifics, it notes these men still need to work, likely out of necessity. Their nightshirts are described as gray and holy with age. Their homes are dark and cold.
So it's observed, not declared, quietly shown.
Precisely. It adds this layer of reality, doesn't it? And Joe seems aware, too. The review quotes him saying, "The country's full of battered folk like Bill."
Acknowledging his own relative privilege, maybe, and the hardship others face. It adds complexity.
Definitely. So, okay, we had this film described as Affable and understated, right? With a lullaby-like twinkling piano score.
Uh-huh. Focusing on landscape, daily life.
So how does the review explain that initial paradox? How does it still manage to pack emotional heft, as it says?
Yeah, that's the core question, isn't it? The review really zooms in on two key events. They happen quite close together in the film, apparently. A wedding and a death.
Ah, the big life moments.
Exactly. And the review argues these moments strike right at the heart of what it means to belong somewhere. Universal stuff, but shown in this very specific, observed way.
And how are they portrayed? Differently.
Very differently, according to the review. The wedding is all celebration, layered with sound and joy. Very vibrant.
And the death.
That's marked by silence that takes on a layer of weight that seems palpable. So using sound and the absence of sound to create these distinct emotional landscapes.
Interesting contrast. But is there a common thread?
There is,
All
and
right.
this seems key. In both events, joy and sorrow, the review highlights how the neighbors throw their arms around each other in a demonstration of pure togetherness.
Ah, so it comes back to that community support.
Right, that shared humanity, that mutual support in the face of everything life throws at you. That's what the review says is genuinely moving, that it really does warrant a tear or two.
So even in a quiet film, those fundamental human connections have real power.
It seems so. It really feels like the film, based on this review, just gives us this intimate glimpse into the ordinary, everyday lives of this village.
And that goes back to the pace again, that unhurried, gentle pacing. It gives you, the viewer, time to stop and soak up the
And
landscape.
the people in it.
And the review is fair. It does acknowledge this pace may not be for everyone.
Sure, it asks for a different kind of engagement, maybe. Less about plot, more about just being there.
But ultimately, the review lands on this point. The film's core message surrounding community spirit is surely a universal one. It reaches beyond just this one Irish village.
And that seems to have resonated, given it won Best Film at the Irish Film and Television Awards.
Yeah, which it kind of proves the point, doesn't it? Sometimes a film where nothing happens, in that conventional plot sense.
Can actually say something incredibly profound.
Ex-
So, wrapping up this deep dive into Mary Munoz's review, what have we really uncovered here? It seems that They May Face the Rising Sun uses this very deliberate, unhurried focus
On landscape, on
to
community.
find real emotional depth, not through big dramatic twists, but in just watching, observing the quiet rhythms of daily life.
Yeah, it suggests that just living the day-to-day connected to nature and to each other, that can be where the most profound experiences lie.
It's a powerful thought. And thinking about that film's focus, the slow pace, the deep community roots in that rural setting. Here's something final for you, our listener, to chew on. How does watching something like that make you reflect on the pace and the connections in your own life, whatever that looks like, wherever you happen to be?